Greetings, everyone. This is your favorite food alchemist. I am brought to you by True Psychic Network and Food Alchemy Network as well, myself, the Food Alchemist. So I want to welcome everyone. I was waiting for my guest. Hopefully she'll call in, Macarena Rose for Belize. We're going to talk about all the things Belize, but let's shift since hasn't happened yet. So if you guys want to call, the number again is 323, okay, 323 693 3312. Forgive me. 323 I like this. 693-3312. So you can go to Ustream and see us. You can go to Blog Talk and talk with us and listen there. And you also go to TruePsychicNetwork.com and actually look, see, and talk and all that other stuff. And then the lovely assistant that we have, my lovely Tiffany, will be able to help you. So she's White Sage woman that's in the back, you know, running the show. For you guys that don't know that. So we're going to have a wonderful show and realize the show is off the top of the cusp. Oh, she's here. She just haven't come in. I think she's going to come in. She's here, so I'm going to try to here and ready. Let's see. I'm going to make sure she's connected. Let me get her all in. You got a call. I know, isn't that bad that you're like, we're waiting. You guys, I know, it's like, one. Okay, you guys, if you're looking at me, you're looking at my head, and that's why. Forgive me. Forgive me. She's here. Okay. What's going on? Computer. Error. That's okay. I don't know. I think so. Let me see. I know she's supposed to be calling in on Skype. What's going on? Can you see me? Okay, let me see. Where's she at? Okay, call into the she's typing now. Okay, you guys just be okay. I tell her, she says she's not connected, so I just tell her to add you real quick, right? And she can still do it. Quick. Can I add her or no? Huh? Oh, okay. I didn't realize. Okay, double whammy. This is why we work out things a little bit early. You guys got to forgive me. You got to forgive me. Double whammy. And okay, we're gonna get this right. I'm like here. So she is on 61. Is that 617? Okay. I know. Let me see if that's her. Hello, 617. Who am I speaking with? Hello. Hola, ¿cómo está? Hello.
Hi.
Who do I have on the line?
Oh, Debbie.
Oh, hold on, Debbie. We're trying to get a guest, so please hold on.
Okay, there's another number that just popped up. I got 661.
661. Is that you?
I don't know 661 number showing up, but I'm Macarena.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, all we need to do is I gave her your information to try to connect. so we can see you on screen too. So I need you like on the phone. This is the first time I've had a guest had to be on the phone and on the TV at the same time. So forgive me for messing up. I really apologize. Her name is the number the name I gave you on Skype. Tiff, I need you to come back to the line, love, please. She's like, oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, so I gave her what you gave me, and then can you add her the number that I gave you, the thing for the Skype name, Macarena Rose in Belize?
It's Macarena in Belize.
Say that again. I'm sorry, my fault.
It's Macarena in Belize, all one word.
Right.
My name in Belize. All right, let me find her here.
I'm sorry.
Well, give me your Skype name. I can look real quick too. It's Goldilocks 168. Goldilocks with a Y.
I thought that's what I did. I don't know. Like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna. Oh, yay!
Yes. I just sent your request here. I think I need to hang up though so you can video in though, right? No, you can still see. Are you on the phone or are you calling into Skype? I'm calling through Skype. Yeah, then you have to hang up. Yeah, and then we'll video call you. Okay, and I just sent you a contact request here. Hi. Okay, so for those watching TV, just hold on a moment because you're going to see you can't do this beautifully right now. So I'm going to try to keep the screen from going crazy. And so just be patient with me for a moment, what you're going to see while I get her up here.
Only me, right? Only happens on my show. So.
Oh, it's all right. It's okay, honey. All right, no worries.
Okay.
So let's just get you in here. And let me see. And then Macarena, I have to do group call. Okay, so. All right, what I'm going to have to do is just hang up with you and then recall both of you at the same time.
Okie dokie. So, all right, we're only giving you a blip. We'll... and 15 being with her. I just want you to really have just this great time, and she's going to tell you wonderful stories. So if you haven't gone to YouTube to see us where we were on at one time again, talking about Belize, and I seen her wonderful home, and she was burning COPAL, opal. It's a very spiritual herb, and it's healing. And a lot of shamans and these actually use that, I found out. And it's very opening, very spiritual, very enlightening, and keeps you connected to the positivity and energy. So for you guys out there, without further ado, my lovely guest, she's also ordained Reverend as well, and a Reiki Master as well in Belize. So you have this wonderful combination, excuse me, together. I'm choking now. Okay, it must be the chili. I'm actually getting the chili. For you guys know that I've been making a couple dishes, from curry to chili beans to bean patties to I don't know what else I made today. There's all the stuff that I picked at the top of my head. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in Macarena Rose. So I want to know, can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, but I can't hear her.
Can you hear me?
Hear her.
Oh, okay. So how do we do that? She's all the way in Belize, and she is Skype. When she talks.
Then just unmute it.
Okay.
Sound all the way up.
Okay. So
This way everyone can hear her.
okay.
So,
Okay. I got it. Okay, here we go. Okay. Welcome. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Happy, beautiful day to you.
Okay. All right. What I gotta do? We're gonna make this work. I got all my crystals. I'm gonna put this on a crystal grid. We're gonna make this rock and roll. Okay. Got my smoky quartz. All that negativity that doesn't want this beautiful energy come through. We're just gonna ask you to be removed, be gone. And all positive energy, we want to come forth, come forth, come forth. Woo! All right, out the window. Okay, so I want you to tell people about Belize and tell them, because they haven't quite figured out about Belize. Also, I want them to tell about your realty business and actually, again, how you got to be there and you've been there. You're not just a newbie. You're not there. You haven't been there like less than 5 years. You've been there for, I'm not going to say a decade or more. So you are no longer a visitor, a newbie. You are actually a resident and a native now. You're a part of the culture, and you're very well known for you guys out there. She's very well known through Belize, just not in her town, but through Belize, who she is, and she represents a great part. And she also helps the economy of Belize by the work that she does. And she makes sure that the locals are the forefront, which is, I'm so happy. I've listened to the singers, the writers, the politicians, the murals, the markets that she go to, the mountains, the spots. I mean, you name it, she's been there. I think she's been one end from the south end to the north end of Belize, and from the east to the west, for you to really get a big feel of what Belize has to offer. So who would better be incorporated in our tour to Belize than to be you? So without further ado, I'm going to let you talk and I'm going to shut up.
Oh my Lord. So, we can do this together. We can talk at the same time because it's all such beautiful energy all in one, isn't it? It
Yes.
really is. And, we're so excited that you're going to be bringing people to Belize to have the experience that you are going to be providing is something very new. And to me, it's very honoring that you've chosen Belize to come to and bring what you're bringing. I mean, who doesn't want to spend time with the food alchemist? I'm just saying. I do. Do you?
I like that. Okay. I mean, I'm just in awe because like I said, I seen you many years ago, I'm gonna say many moons. Not gonna put the years on it. I'm gonna say moons because Moon is so gentle. She's so feminine. I like that. The Luna Moon. So
We will definitely have Luna Moon and Belize for you. That's for sure. With the ruins.
right. And that's the more magical and spiritual place. Now, when we talked, you had a friend that actually was part of the ruins that actually was at the pyramid in the Mayan, and I believe it was closed for a little bit, or is it still closed?
Caracol is actually still closed. That's correct. But when the one we actually had done one at that you had seen a video of was Shinantanich, which some people remember it by the name tuna sandwich because I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's basically shu nantanich. And shu, the sh sound in Mayan is the X. And
Oh,
it is actually it's the feminine ruin that we have, and it's laid out like a body. When you see it, you're just going to be in awe. It's the stone maiden. It's just a beautiful ruin to go to and feel
now,
the energy. You cannot even imagine that in Belize there's so many properties that we're on. I'm there showing property, right? I'm there feeling the energy. And
right.
people resonate with that. Like-minded always love to be with like-minded. And
Right.
when you can just move a couple little pebbles or dirt around in the ground and find shards of these, the Mayan artifacts, it's like, wow, who doesn't want to be in Belize?
Right, right. And the fruits and the vegetables, like I was trying to explain to them, moringa just grows rapidly, almost like Hawaii. It's like you walk down the lane and you see all these moringa trees, and they have so many benefits that people don't even know about, not only dried but eating them raw, but also the seeds and purifying the land and getting rid of the radiation, and also the what is it, radicals of the food and vegetables that you eat. But you guys don't have that big of a radical food field because of the way you grow stuff and it's organic, where unfortunately us in the United States are having that problem. In other parts are being exposed to more radicals in our food. And I love that your economical system in agriculture there is amazing. The food and the connection and the shamans there, and a lot of bushmen there. I was finding out there was not just Don Elio. Like I said, I don't know his name. He was working with Rosita, but there's other shamans that are there, and we will actually be visiting these shamans, and they actually said that they will come to our wherever we stay and do some treatment if we need some treatment. And I was like, oh my goodness, I was just shocked of how many doors that people were willing to open. Even the farm that we're going to stay in, the gentleman said that normally they don't let people that stay there actually cook, but he's going to allow me to come in here and cook the food for the residents, or for us, the people that are going to stay on our little retreat, and actually cook for them. So
Right.
they'll have healthy food. I'm like, oh my gosh, what an honor. I feel so honored and so blessed that someone would do that for little old me. I was like, oh my gosh, I
No,
must be really special.
the universe doesn't make mistakes. This is already ordained to be so. So, who doesn't want to be in your space? One, two, who doesn't want to have your authentic cooking? I mean, you are the alchemist, for goodness sakes. And I can't wait to learn things from you. I'm just fascinated, and the honor is ours. So thank you for that. And you did say something about, the land. Our land is so fertile that truly, if you don't have a green thumb, it's okay. And, when we go and put stuff outside our garden, outside of the house or the office, we don't need any, I don't want to even use the company's name, but we don't use any of those fancy fertilizers and those green ones and the blue ones and all of that. We put it in the ground and it grows. And, what a concept, because when the land is so fertile and hasn't been abused and poisoned, it gives life. And the best way to prove all of that to anybody, for me, is when they go, wow, but you can do that anywhere. Well, go to the market and eat the fresh fruits and vegetables, and you will do the same thing my daughter did when we first moved to Belize 11 years ago. And she said, Mom, the pineapples in Belize taste much better than the ones in Florida. And what's wrong with the oranges? They're green outside, but they're delicious. I said, well, first of all, the pineapples were picked ripe. They weren't, shipped thousands of miles, and they weren't gassed. And secondly, as far as the oranges, you know, there's an actual color called sun-kissed orange because the oranges are dyed and they're gassed to make this color. We pick them off the tree and they can be like green and little black spots, and you're like, oh, I don't want that. But when you open it, it's luscious, delicious, perfect. Ah, yummy, yummy, yummy.
See, and that's the beautiful part that we don't understand about our land and how, excuse me, how we have to give back to Gaia, Mother Earth, how we got to give back to the sky, grandfather sky, because the chemicals we shoot up is the chemicals that come down, and people, and they don't do what is it, cropping, that the chemicals that they spray with the
Crop
the airplanes,
right.
you know. It's like, I guess because my mind doesn't like that, it's not going to let me say certain words.
Does not compute, does not compute.
Right. So that in the pools, and I'm telling people just to go in the beaches, and the water is very healing, and your waterfalls are just awesome. And they're like, there's no waterfalls in Belize. I said, I beg to differ, darling. There are beautiful waterfalls in Belize, and there's beautiful caves that you can actually ride on a tube and actually go through and see. Are you serious? I said, yes, they're crystals. I said, crystals grow in the most spiritual places, if you notice. If spiritual beings come together, it's like they're in the cave, they grow down there. Um, so that's what I want everybody to experience. And you have a lot of medicine trails, which we take for granted, that you can pull these plants and they'll heal the body, where you can put it on a sore or a cut or a bee sting. You can make a paste and actually, like, because you have bugs like mosquitoes, just like everywhere else. But you can put this paste on. Guess what? The bugs are not going to bother you. You don't need that spray. We won't say that, the bug spray. We won't say any names. You don't need the Avon stuff that, is going to clog your pores and other things that they add to it. I like that they do that. But these are natural things that you can do, and the oils from the plants would actually help you keep away even spider. I seen where this guy was in Belize, took this guy on a tour, and he showed them this plant. Can you tell me I did? I'm sorry. My daughter's laughing at me. Oh wow. It was this little plant, and how to keep the spiders away. Spiders. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. That's why these are the things that, when I moved to Belize, I was like, are you kidding me? This is just amazing. We don't have this in Florida. There's a lot of things that wasn't available, that were not available where I was from. And when I moved to Belize, I was like, wow. And case in point, one of the women that works in my office, she's from Belgium, and her mother's lived in Belize for 30 years. And when she traveled to North America, she had a rash on her chest. So what do? You go to the doctor, and she got some ointments, and then she went back to the doctor because it was not clearing up, and they gave her topical and oral medicine. Still didn't clear up, and we're talking 3 weeks later. She comes back home to Belize, and our dear friend Minda says, well, you just need some poly redhead. And she said, what? And of course, we've got poly redhead right outside our office. We have chaya, we have the merengue, we have all of these things. But so anyhow, she goes out there, she boils the poly redhead, she puts it on her chest. Next day, all cleared up, gone. She's like, wow, I wasted a lot of money, and I put chemicals on my body and in my mouth, internally, and all I needed was to boil a little poly redhead, put it on, done.
See, and these are what you're going to learn. And that's what I like, that they're going to learn this and see that. And you do, like some people say, well, there's no life. There is life in Belize. There are nice restaurants in Belize. So if you want to actually go there, I've talked to people that actually do homeschooling, but also some of them actually go to school. And it's not where we got to catch these buses and go. It's very easy to get to. And they get together and they go to school and they're friends. I mean, it's very family oriented, and that's what I really love. that there's a lot going on. The restaurants, the people are friendly from my understanding. You can see coconut trees. I mean, stuff you can just pull off the tree and just eat a coconut and drink the water and actually use the meat and find all kinds of things that you can do there. It's like, oh wow, I've been thinking about this trip so much with the flyers and people. I actually had a dream and I was telling my daughter, I woke up and I thought I was in Belize already. It was so funny. I was like, okay, this is so awesome. And then I'm looking around, I was like, oh no, I'm not in Belize. And I had to tell my daughter, like, I'm not in Belize. And my daughter's like, Mom, that's confirmation you're definitely going. So I said, okay, no problem. Then on the dream, I actually met you and I actually came down. But this trip actually afforded me to be able, working with the people, I met a group of people to actually do this more often, that I was actually able to get some land through you. You actually seen some land with agricultural, like produce, and it was nice land where it actually can go and heal. And it was a group of people, holistic people. There was a midwife. There was another woman doing yoga, like doing a yoga thing. It was like we were getting together and having this holistic things, and the different bushmen were coming, and the women from the village was coming. I was like, it was just an integrated, where people were coming and learning from one another. It wasn't, we were, instead of, we were not raping the land and raping the people. And that's what I have a problem with, where we go, forgive me my political speech, we go to different lands and we rape them. We take from them and not give back. But it made me so bubbly that they were receiving and happy. And I was like, oh wow. Now,
Excuse me, did you say you? Bubbly? I can't even imagine. And please tell people when they say, there's no life there, etc. One, define it, really, because life, as many people know it, is things to do to keep you busy. In Belize, we're actually living, and it's way different. For example, I don't know if you just saw the flash mob. We did the first ever flash mob in Belize in downtown San Ignacio, and
yes.
that's a group of people that have moved to Belize and that actually started a line dancing club. So they meet every Thursday. So this is just one thing that people have. That we have a community.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's the line dancing, but there's also the women's group that meets. There's lots of children's activities, and a lot of families are moving with their children now, which is so different. 11 years ago, when I moved to Belize, there was a handful of families that had children that they had moved with. Now, the majority are actually coming with school-age children, and for the reasons, a lot of them are what you've already spoke about. That one, they want a cultural difference, two, where there isn't differences of barriers of people. We're all one. And secondary is that, the food and the language, and the language is English. That makes it easy. But these are different things for people to experience. And as children, it gives them a very wide open view of the world, which we all want that.
Right. That's my thing, is we're all one. If we start realizing we're all one, I think we'll be a lot happier, and that these things that people put barriers are just a reason to make us be separate, and we're really not separate. We're one, whether a different religion, race, creed, whatever your feelings, we're all one, and we all come from love. We all evolve from love. That is what I try to preach, but some people are going to get it, as my daughter said, and some people are not. And don't get upset. And that's what she said. I get frustrated. And I was like, how come they can't? She was like, they're not at that level yet. Just be calm, Mom. She's my calming head.
She's very wise too, because it is true. We're not to have to make a difference with the masses. It's one-on-one with different people that we can affect and ignite a change. And those people that already have their ears open, there's something that's drawing them to be aware. And those are the ones that will then take that and affect other people. So it's just paying it forward, and you're doing a fabulous job at that. And I think it's a magnificent thing. It is definitely a universal thing, because we know that the universe is blessed and coming right through you. and your excitement and your energy to have it all in Belize. I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited because I decided I'm thinking of actually coming there once I get my vehicle and actually drive down there myself from Arizona. So this is going to be a trip. My daughter's going to stay behind and take some different things and actually introduce myself to the community before I get there. I think that's only respectful for people to show my appreciation. And wherever I go, I like to bring a little something. So I'm going to bring a little treat from home that I've made for them as a thank you gift for allowing me to bring my group of people to actually come there and be part of their land. And we're going to actually do a lot of ceremonies, which people are not aware of giving and releasing a lot of negativity, but also bringing in a lot of positive energy and showing them how to take this energy of Belize and bring it back home. That is very important that they want to come back. That's my goal. Like, you want to come back. It's not a place that, oh, I've been there, done that. No, Belize for me, evidently because I keep coming back, that's where I'm supposed to be. It's not like, oh, well, it's thought about it. This is like the third time. Okay, well, you got to do something. And it's like, open a door. And it was a girl that was on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn. She was like, wouldn't you like to get together and bring some friends? And I was like, that's a thought. And then ran with it. And then I said, okay, let me call this person. Let me call that. And then I called you and I was like, okay, now can I get her on a board? Because I'm feeling when people get there, I have a feeling they're going to actually want to buy a house there. That is what I'm feeling. Or get some property there and actually be in the lifestyle, because they ride bikes. They're not, they don't ride all these cars. It's not compacted in Belize like it is on the mainland. That's what I feel like Belize is like. Reminds me of Hawaii. It's separate. It's like different. Its own little island. And aren't there little islands on Belize as well?
There is, because Belize is just below Mexico, and obviously, as attached to it borders Mexico, and we have a lot of outskirt islands too. And because it is such a small country, it's so easy to get around, which is a huge benefit. And when I first went to Belize, it was just to teach a 2-week Reiki and shamanic healing course. I didn't go there to move. But, I was sitting there, and after the 4th day, I'm on the veranda, and I look over San Ignacio town, and I said out loud to the other ministers that were there with me, I said, I'm going to live here. Well, as we say in Belize, so said, so done. So, it does happen that way. And I certainly didn't know I would be moving with 2 teenagers, 10 animals, and 4 containers. And less than 6 months later, by the way.
Wow.
But when the universe knocks and you don't pay attention, it's going to keep knocking. And so what you resist will persist. It's much more fun to follow the energy. So,
Yes.
so listeners, if you're listening to the show and you're like, well, wow, I want to go to Belize. Well, that's because something in spirit is tapping you, going, hey, okay, I'm supposed to be there. Why? I don't know. But, you have to walk through the door to find out what the why is.
And I think they're going to have a wonderful experience of meeting you, basically learning from you, because you have a lot to offer for them and to share with them as well. And your office is only down the street from the bike rental place. That is really awesome. And Belize as well. People think, well, it's easier to rent a bike than it is a car, from my understanding in Belize. So I would rent a bike and go around.
It's cheaper.
Right.
Cheaper.
So that's what I would do. I would do some of that, riding the bike and really getting in nature, but that also strengthens your muscles. It also connects you to the earth. I mean, something about that circle. I have this thing about geometric things, circles and hexagons, octagons, pyramids. It's just something about that. The energy that vibrates for me is strong. So a circle and riding around, like when I drive my car, it's like hypnotizing for me. So if I'm seeing something beautiful, I can actually hypnotize myself and go to sleep. And I was like, oh wow, okay. Um, you don't want to
Not,
do that, darling.
not while you're driving.
Right.
Do not recommend that whatsoever, listeners.
So I learned, okay, when I'm driving, I gotta listen to music so I'm not getting hypnotic. For that, when I drove from Pennsylvania to Florida, from Florida to Arizona, and that's what I learned. I was like, oh wow, it's so beautiful, and I started getting tired, and I was like, okay. Then I read there was a study that the reason they make the roads swervy is because it is very hypnotizing for some people to actually drive and they actually fall asleep at the wheel. Not that they're tired, but the roads and the patterns and the soothing is actually put you in a hypnotic state. And I was like, oh, wow, thank you. Now I definitely will not be driving. I'll look for like little ways or have radios on. So that is another thing. In connecting with the mountains. So do they have hikes like going up the mountains and connecting? Like, are there like other people? Like, if you go into uh, the Aborigines and you go read deep in the rainforest, there's the whole section of indigenous people that are connected. And then if you go in the mountain, there's a whole village of other people that are separated from the town. Is there something like that in Belize as well?
Well, there's certainly a lot of mountains. We have the Mayan mountain ridge, which is huge. And there are communities that you can either drive to or, you could hike. But, you're talking vast amounts of land because in Belize, the beauty of it is that, and I'm not sure the percentage, but it's like 80 to 90% is undeveloped in Belize.
Oh,
So, that's why we have wildlife and we have so many herbs and so many jungle remedies because we have so much land that is, still in its natural state. And when you can walk in the jungle and you see trees that have been there for hundreds and hundreds of years, even back like when the chicleros would come and, cut the trees to get the gum sap, it's just, it's a very fascinating place. I can't imagine someone not having the experience. And there's a lot of places in the world I've been to. There's nowhere that is like Belize.
right. And it's so oxygenated. Okay. A lot of oxygen because of the trees and the trees there and the greenery that you breathe in, and people don't realize that trees are so important. And when they cut down trees, they actually plant trees right back. From my understanding, like they did it in different parts of Native Americans, when they would actually cut down a tree, they would actually have a little what is it called, a sapling, actually uh, planted. And then my friend said they do that in Belize too. It's like, are you serious? She said, and they pay homage to the tree that they've taken down because they feel like they have taken a life. And I was like, oh, wow.
It is a way different mentality. And, for me, the most humbling part of it is just honoring our land, honoring, what you do take from it. There's a plant that is chaya, and it's similar to spinach, but it's like a tree, a big bush either, and you must actually ask for permission from it before you cut it. And if you don't, it has a sticky sap that is really, really, really itchy. So, you have, and it's just fascinating. I've watched people that haven't asked permission and they're just all covered with itchiness. And, yet my friend Minda, who is very spiritually in tune, she can literally go without anything and cut it and touch it and not have any problems. So, there's a lot of magic in Belize because you don't have the flight path. We don't have planes flying over our heads, dumping whatever they want to dump. We do not have also so many cell phones. So you don't have all those EMGs in the air. It's just not that same, it's not the same thing at all. I know the first time that I was in Belize for 8 months before I came back to Florida, I was overwhelmed. I literally was like, and I'm a real hustle bustle Washington D.C. lady, boom, 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 boom. I moved from St. Pete, Florida to Belize and no problems. But when I first came back to the US and landed in Florida, it literally took me a day to decompress before I could go out. And when I did go out and walked into these big stores, I was like, whoa, it's too much. Everything's loud and there's too many choices. You know, we walk into Belize and we don't have the luxury of having 2 aisles of shampoo. But guess what? You don't need it.
Right, right.
So
And
it's fabulous. It's a very humbling thing, to have the experience of meeting the Belizeans and to be able to learn about the remedies and to be able to do it in your space is something that is just well worth the adventure for sure.
See, and that's what I'm telling you. And there are people like you can get massages there. There's massage therapists there. There's all kinds of treatments that you can get there, from your face to your nails to your hair. And there also are hairdressers there. So for people that are worried about their hair, you can get your hair done the 10 days that you're there,
Of
if
course.
that's what you so choose to do. So it's not like giving up things, you're actually gaining, and what you're gaining is more self, and that's what I want people to gain. You're going to leave, you're going to shed. It's like a snake. You shed the old habits, the old self, and what you gain is a beautiful, vibrant new self when you walk out, and hopefully be able to maintain from this trip. You know, that's what I want them to see, the not only the food, and but to maintain and see and appreciate the people, how they spirit and how they connect and how they give and how they share, how I'm not saying they don't have issues, you like, or but it's just more community oriented, more connection, more if you say hi to somebody, they're not going to think you're weird, like, oh, hi, how you doing? Where if when I came, I came to Arizona and it was like, hi, how you doing? How you feeling today? And the person looked at me like, okay. You're like, I scared them, like, what's wrong? Oh, you're not from Arizona, are you? No. Okay. I go to Florida, I start saying, hi, how you doing? Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. You're not from Florida, are you? No. Okay. Now I lived in Hawaii. Love Hawaii. Beautiful place in Hawaii. I said hi. I mean, and guess hi, how you doing? How you feeling? I was like, okay, I'm home. That's what I felt like. So I know Belize is the same way. That energy is like, oh, I'm home. Thank you. So they're friendly. I have yet to meet a Belizean that's been on the mainland that have not been friendly. I have yet to meet anyone that were very open, very friendly, gave me a lot of information about moving there, just like why you want to go. And then the girl's like, oh, you'll be able to be a vegetarian there. If you don't want to be a vegetarian, let me tell you your meals. Let me show you what to make. And they make beautiful split pea soup. Beautiful, and she used not split pea. What was it? Lentils. Lentils. Um, she showed me it was a Belizean dish, and I said, okay, all right, that's different. She said, you can be a vegetarian and be there. You'll be fine. She said, matter of fact, you'll love it. And I said, oh wow, that's awesome. She said, but you might want to try some of our dishes and give it a chance. And I said, well, that she said, just to warn you. So if someone gives you something, even if you just eat a little bit, eat a little bit. And I was like, okay, I get that. I really get that. So I understand. And that made me feel good. It's like when you go down south to some places, they offer you a glass of water or iced tea or something. You just don't go and sit down. They offer you something to sit down, even if you're a salesperson. Oh, would you like a glass of water? And you're coming to sell them something. They're like that, and that's what I'm finding. She was saying the Belizeans are like the same kind of things. They'll help you, and the medical system, like I said, it's totally different than it is there. You don't need insurance cards like we have to have 5 million different insurance companies here. You don't need that there. Your doctor there. You know who's local. You basically there's more apathy care there than we have on the mainland for healing, but also be in connection where that that grandmama knows something, like you were saying about the rash. They're going to help. You know what? You seem to be having this leaking, and oh, let me go pull this plant, and they proceed. It's more of let me help you, and I want us to experience that so we can help one another and lose our judgment of each other.
Yeah.
And I know Belize, I'm making Belize have a lot to live up for, but I just feel that's the vibration when I say Belize that hits me when I see it. And I was like, I just seen Belize on a page, and then I seen you, and I was like, okay, she's and then it was years later, I seen you on HGTV. You've been on there several times, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna reach out to her. And it's like, okay. And then I reached out, and I reached out to one of your assistants that was telling me about Florida and how close Florida and Belize was, and people that retire can actually live there, that are actually on a pension could live there in Belize, where people think if you're on a pension, you got to stay in the United States, you got to stay this. But in Belize, it's affordable to actually live there.
Yes.
And the rent, if you want to rent, is very reasonable there, which people
Sure.
don't know. So you might want to spend a summer there. You might want to spend your cold winters in Belize during that time, and your Christmas festival. Could you share that with them about your Christmas festival that goes on in Belize?
Well, Christmas is a very big thing in Belize, and it starts usually around the 9th to the 10th. People they're painting their house, they're putting new marley on their floor, which is like a linoleum. And it's really a neat thing to see people take so much pride in their, painting the outside of the house, doing these things to get ready for the Christmas holiday. So it's not just a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day thing. It starts way in advance. And then come around the 20th, I mean, pretty much everything's shutting down. There's not going to be, a lot of the stores aren't going to be open, the restaurants. People take it very serious that it is time for the family. So now, it's Christmas Eve, and you go and you wander around and go see different people. But Christmas Day,
Mm-hmm.
very fascinating. People will literally go and pick up their presents and go pick up their things, and then go to a house and visit for half an hour, and then go to another house and visit for half an hour, and then go to another house and visit for an hour, and then go to another house and visit for half an hour. And I don't mean presents that they bought at at this high-end store wrapped with ribbons that someone's going to open and go, oh, that's lovely. I mean something that they baked, or they made, or they cooked, or something that, just to share space with each other. And it's very different. And then after Christmas, it continues. So it's not just like, again, one Christmas Eve day and one Christmas, that's it. It's more of a family cultural event, and that's what makes it really special to me. The fact that people actually do take time to engage with each other and have a real relationship and a communication. So this is what's drawing families to move. It used to be, even 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it was people retiring, buying
Mm-hmm.
investment property because, like, we'll rent them out. And we have one guy that he can't even stay in his house because we keep it booked all the time. He just booked himself out for 2 weeks. So he's he's here, he's in Belize, and he's got 2 weeks of his house to himself, and then we have it rented again. It's a vacation rental. But, he just giggles because Jerry was like, we call him Uncle Jerry. He's like, I can't believe I can't even come and stay in my own house.
Wow.
You can, but we have to, move people out. But anyhow, the benefit of it is that you've chosen an ideal time to do this, because it's in December, and it's towards the end of the year, and so it's basically finishing off the year with this beautiful gathering of releasing things that maybe no longer serve us, releasing things that did not work, and embracing and full of gratitude for the things that worked, and call those things in for the next year. So it's kind of like setting it's completing and setting the following year's whole system in place of coming from the right place. So yeah, I think you've done good, kid. You're amazing. You listen well. It's fabulous when you listen to what we've got up there, right?
Right. Universe is like, it
beautiful.
never fails, and just it's like, wow. And I'm just looking forward to that. Well, you guys, while they go, I plan to stay longer, or even come a little bit before. I'm just like having a vision. I told them I actually want to stay there for Christmas, so I'm looking for a rental, and I want to leave like the day after New Year's Day. So I would have to I know there's some paperwork that I would have to do because she said, you're coming on the 1st, you're going to be there, you're going to be over a month, and it's a way of a visa. So I have to figure out who I need to talk to make that happen. So, oh, you, okay.
Easy, we can explain that. It's very simple. If you're going to be in Belize, and the listeners should know this too, for more than 30 days, you just go get a stamp in your passport at the capital. So it's not difficult. You're allowed to stay for as long as you want. You just need to have a stamp in your passport every month.
Okay.
Until you've lived there for a year, then you can apply to be a resident.
So I like that. I really, really, I'm just so excited about that as well. So so that's my general plan, and you know what happens to plans when you make them. So
You're
I
opening
just
the
know it's gonna
door.
be yes, it's gonna open a lot of things. Like I said, I'm looking forward to all the wonderful people and all the connections, and I definitely want to sit with the midwife and talk with her, being a doula, and seeing how that works out there because there's so many therapies and things that I like the hypnosis birth, but also the water birth. And I want to figure out how that is done, and just seeing that it's not, your hospital is not as huge as these American hospitals that they have here, but you cram so much of health and community in there, if you know what I mean. It's like you don't need these big fancy machines. It's more you need the people and to give birth. Where we started giving birth, we gave birth at home a long time ago in the care of another woman that was able to help us and help you bring forth. It wasn't that you went to a sterile place and chop chop, here you go, out the door you went. And you had more care for them to explain what it is because it's a new life, especially for new moms. That is a part that has been lost that I'm looking forward to as well. And showing them about their body and healing, all these things that are magical about them as a person. So I'm looking forward to that because I know she has some great stories and great information for that connection, especially about midwifery.
Yes.
That is just as, I don't know, is the oldest healing work there was, besides being a mother. And we was talking about laying on of hands. Women used to actually didn't realize it. It was called the Roman cup. Used to put your hand, and mothers would, it would send healing, and not realizing we're checking your scalp, but also we're sending you healing energy at the same time, or we're patting you, we're checking, but we're sending you loving healing energy. And that's what she does all the time when she catches these babies, when she's actually seeing these women and talking to them. I mean, she's not just like, okay, I got my pen. Okay, oh, okay, I'm going to be late for a golf meeting. Okay, out the door. Not all doctors are like that.
No, they're not. And the doctors in Belize, so if they have any concerns, you can, we have pharmacies, you can walk in and get what you need. But the doctors, I mean, literally one time I had a really high fever and I was, not in the mood to go leave my house. The doctor came to the house. Who does that anymore unless you're paying for a high-end concierge service? But he did that. One time I went to go see him and I had like a little skin rash that was coming up, and I said, you know what? And this was the pre-poly redhead thing. He says you don't need anything. He says you've already got. I have this oil of we have this oregano, Mexican oregano in Belize, and it's a really thick leaf. It's lovely. It tastes good, and it works wonders. But so anyhow, I giggled because my visit to the doctor in the States would be a copay, and then your medicine, everything else, and I was out of there for $5 US. I went in for routine blood work and some other stuff that I just wanted to get tested, and I went there and it was $30 for everything, and that was my blood work, that was my test in US, and I paid in Belize dollars, which would have been 60 Belize dollars, 30 US is equivalent. So anyhow, I giggled because I'm like going, are you kidding me? I couldn't have had that. We had a client that came in and looked for property with me, and she had some, physical things going on. And I said, listen, I need to take you over to see my doctor. He's just trust me. He's really good. And she says, well, I trust you implicitly. Let's go. Do you know that he was able to diagnose with her, and she had surgery in Belize, that she had already been spending 2 years in the U.S. to figure out what was up. Has been perfect since. Perfect. And he's like, wow, how could they not figure this out? They've done all these tests, the expensive MRIs, all sorts of things, and it was very eye awakening to me. And those aha moments happen all the time.
See, and also what people need to know when they come to Belize, they don't have to exchange their money out of Belize money when they're spending there, that they can actually use it. I did find that out, did some information also by Carol Barnes. She said that she noted you did an interview for her. Carol Barnes, she came from Arizona, and she's going to be our um, yoga instructor every day that we're there, that she's going to do yoga and meditation.
Yeah.
So I think we have a wonderful team. And she said, no, 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 you don't have to worry about exchanging your money. Now, when you leave, that's when you would exchange your money out for US dollars. That's something
Right.
different. But there, no, you'll love it. It's fine. And that's what I'm really loving about that we're going to not have, it's not going to be a hassle. You speak English. If you know Spanish, very well, good. That's good too. But it's a English speaking country, and it's very translatable of the care, the restaurant, the food. You don't have to scratch your head and go,
Oh,
what is that? You'll know because it's there for you to understand. And they're friendly, and you're going to be able to find, like I said, there's wonderful restaurants there. There's wonderful skiing there, canoeing. Um, what is it? Those cave thingies that they go down the side of the tubing. That's what it is, tubing.
yeah.
They have that there. You'll be able to ride a bike there through the mountains. If you want to rent a car, you can rent a car. It's up to you. So it's not like you're being stranded. So you have a lot of options, even though, you're getting that close family knitted kind of village like kind of atmosphere. It's still beautiful. You still have a lot there to offer people. Now you have a local artist. You have television shows, I believe. Also, what else did we have? Local television shows. Um, what was something else that was? Do you have an art gallery there by any chance, or a museum?
Yes, we do have art galleries, and there's some in Belize City, and actually, and there's some in San Ignacio. There have some artists that have a shared space where they show what they have made, and and it's mixed media, which is always fun too. So that's there. So again, if anyone says there's there's no life, wow, they haven't
See?
seen life like this. I mean, literally, where you can be dancing in the streets like the flash mob did, with the on top of
like
where they
that.
found Mayan artifacts, and which is the only reason that street is not open to traffic and vehicles anymore, is because they paved, or not paved it, they put blocks, the bricks,
Right.
and they did that on purpose because they don't want anybody driving on that road anymore, because it's the main road in downtown, main road, and that's where they found the artifacts. Shut
Right.
off, no more driving. So now you have to walk down to go get your pizza, or hang out with people. So it's way fun, way fun.
Okay.
There's not anybody that's going to come and not completely enjoy it, and the changes are, it's a metamorphosis kind of place. It's what it is.
I
But
like that.
can't wait to see what you're going to be cooking up and teaching people.
I'm
Woo-hoo!
excited, just all the stuff, because I love food, and just like I was told certain spices, and I want to learn about the local spices. So I want to make it very geared towards Belizean and the spices that are used there and find out exactly, like I know there's pepper and salt and without a problem, but I want to know like the local spices. I want to be get down to the nitty gritty.
There's a lot of them. They're amazing.
And so that's why I want to do that. And I told people they can go to the cafe in the morning if they want, if they have an option to go to the cafe and get their cafe. And what was it? She showed me a roll, like a roll that they have there. It's a Belizean
Powder
roll.
bun.
Say that again.
It's the powder bun.
There you go.
Yep.
She said
they have journey cake, and it's a really solid kind of biscuit. They call it journey cake because the gentlemen that were getting ready to go on the journeys before our roads were put in. I mean, traveling in Belize was very long and laborious, but so they've been given the journey cakes, which are really solid and not like a hockey puck, but I mean they're dense as far as how they're made, and they're very good. In the powder buns, there's the pop. We have fried jacks that I love, and they're like having a croissant. They're like puffed up. Oh, they're just delicious. So you won't go hungry, by the way. When my friend moved to Belize with me, she was my best friend from high school, and she's a vegetarian. And people are like, oh, "You're gonna starve," and she's like, "Are you kidding me? I've been there. I'm gonna eat better than I ever have."
I like that. There was a dessert, there's a donut and something. A cross between, you were talking about a donut and a cross between, okay. It's a donut. It was a dessert, or wasn't even a dessert. It was cross between a croissant and a donut or something like
Well,
that.
this
Was
is
that
what I
you?
was talking about. It's like a pop over, but it's called fried jack.
Okay,
And
fried jack.
this is
Okay.
it is like you can put honey on it, you can put powdered sugar, you can put anything on it, but they're delicious.
Oh, I love that.
Delicious. And everybody knows how to make them. So you won't have any problem finding somebody who has fried jacks. And the restaurants have them that have breakfast, of course.
Okay, see, that's good. And we were talking about the market, which probably people didn't even know about the markets there versus there is a butcher. We were talking about a butcher, a kosher butcher, kosher butcher. Okay, I got it now.
You got it.
Butcher that's there that does fabulous work. And if you can find a kosher butcher that is like amazing, and that a butcher period that actually does the work for you, and it's fresh, it's not aged and sitting in a package, and okay, undesirables can
It's
get
not
there.
It's similar. I think I had shared with you before when I first moved to Belize. I was horrified. I walked in the store and there's flats of eggs, just sitting out, and I'm like, "Whoa, here, let me help you. Let me put them in the fridge." No, 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 no. They're fresh. They don't need to be in the refrigerator. They're not traveling thousands of miles. They were laid that morning, or the morning before, but they sit there, and it's a whole different way of going. Wow, it's more simple, and there's a lot of authenticity to that.
See, I like that. And that's what we're going to share, and just learning and seeing like wow, and how to take that back in your life. How can you make that? And I wouldn't be surprised at what I'm getting epiphany is that some people might downsize because when they go there, they're going to appreciate a lot of stuff, and like all the stuff that the baggage, not only in their life with people, but the things in their home is not going to serve them, and they're not going to feel the same, that they're actually want to get rid of because of seeing this life. And it's like, wow, and I live like this and I didn't have any problem. Now the thing is I'm going to love to see is people without their cell phone. That I think is going to be so funny for me. But there is an internet cafe. So let me let you guys know there is an internet cafe. So if you want to write your people when you come back home, you can. And if you really need to make a phone call, there is a place that you can make a phone call. I'm just joking with you, but I'm loving going to see that energy where there's the television is not there, and or the main focus.
Yes, it's not. It's not at all. It's just completely different. I mean, you know, my daughter was very, she's 14, moved to Belize, and very connected with, you know, we had the computer, we had the television, you know, you have the cell phone, all these things, right? In Belize, I think it was probably a year. I'd have to ask, confirm with that, but it was pretty close to a year. We didn't have cable. We didn't pay for it. We didn't turn on the TV. We didn't just sit in front of the TV and let that sap our brains. We were out living and experiencing all these new wonderful things of being there. And you know, she was never complaining or like, oh my Lord, we gotta have a TV. So, you know, children tell the truth when you watch their actions, and it was a life-changing event for her. Very humbling in a very good way.
See, so they'll get that too, and you'll understand just like simplicity is so wonderful, and just living as they live the simple life. Single, simple life is beautiful. And they'll say eating from nature and just being able to go in the garden and sit, and how to, you know, just swing and look at the stars that is not polluted with all the chemicals in the air, and actually feel like you can actually touch the stars. That to me is beauty. And seeing where you fit in. And I know when they see the night sky, they're going to feel like they're so small because of the sky, and the stars that you are exploding are just wonderful.
Sure.
I love, you know, my daughter's a nighttime person. She loves the stars. Every chance she gets, she takes a walk every day and is looking in the stars, and then with her cell phone trying to figure out what this star is, that star is, and stuff like that. So she's really looking forward to actually going to Belize with me as well, and seeing, you know, all these wonderful things as well. And I know that for her, the ultimate is going to be the nighttime in the sky. So if you guys see her and she's out there looking, just pay her any mind, let her be, because that's just what it is, you know. And the thing is, the animals that are there, they're much part of Belize as the humans are, and they respect each other in Belize just much as the humans and animals respect the people that are there. That in itself is like, wow. That, you know, like, can you believe that? And they actually have a Belize zoo, for people don't know about, but it's not like the mainland's zoo.
It's only animals indigenous to Belize, one, and secondary, it's only animals that were brought in that would needed rehabilitation, and some could not be released back into the populace, into the wildlife. So they have a permanent home at the zoo.
See that? I mean, how awesome is that? So you get to see that. Now, I did have a question when I meant to ask. Do people get to see dolphins in Belize?
Well, we have dolphins out of the ocean. So we're, you know, in inland, of course not, because we have rivers. But there are dolphins, and you know, you would have to be near the islands or near the ocean.
Okay.
And they're
So
beautiful.
but you can always hire a boat or something if that's what you want to do. That is an option. So you see, there's so many options. I'm just telling you guys, you're just like gonna love it. And just being on the ocean and bathing, just actually letting the water heal you. And that's one of the ceremonies we're going to do, is actually let the mother water heal you, and as well as get a free pedicure on the sands because
Wow.
it's free.
Wow.
So I like that. And just talking, it's just going to be body, mind, and soul healing. I just feel just inside and out. And the beauty, the beauty that's inside is going to shine out. And the beauty that's outside is going to continue to shine in. And you're going to be able to take it. So I know that that's going to be wonderful. And I'm seeing that you've brought many people there and showed many people the beauty of Belize and what it has to offer in the farmers market that you go to. What is the Belizeans' what is Belizean known for? Like, different states are known for a dish. What is a Belizean dish that they're known for?
Rice and beans.
Okay.
It comes with stewed chicken, but it's the way they make it. It's very, very amazing.
Okay. All right. See, like everybody, you go to every country, like paella. I love paella. Ooh.
Oh, I love it too.
Oh, especially from Venice, Valencia. No, Valencia, Spain.
Yes.
Oh, everybody's is different. There, everybody knows that that's a Spanish dish, but each region makes it different, and
That's
they
true.
have their authentic. Just like the bean dish with beans and rice is made different, and it's everybody's recipe is the best recipe. So when you go, they're gonna say my recipe is the ultimate, and my aunt's gonna say her recipe is the best recipe. And what is also a Belizean drink there that they might have there? No soda pop.
Well, there is soda pop if somebody had to have that, but you would never want that in Belize because we have the fresh fruit juices like watermelon juice that is fabulous. I love watermelon juice. The lime juice is just to live for because of course we don't want to die for something, we want to live for it. And there's the fresh, they have the tamarind juice. You're not going to go thirsty by any means in Belize. They have the Belican, which is the local beer. They do have, for the most part, you can get the fresh juices at every single restaurant, and you just don't want to miss that because I literally go to a restaurant and I order two right away. I usually a lime juice and a watermelon because I like my fluid. I love the juices, and I drink them. I pound one, and I want another one. I don't drink alcohol. It's a good thing, probably, because I would be a big drinker. But I like my fluids, and it's the juices in Belize. It's this I cannot ever duplicate it when I go to the North Americas ever. I cannot touch it. The flavor of the fresh fruit that has just come off the tree and making it in the like in the States, even if you have an orange tree and you make fresh orange juice, it's nice.
Right.
From Florida, for of course. It's just that it depends when it was actually grown. It depends what kind of tree it was, what kind of seed it was. There's so many variables there, and in Belize, they're all delicious. So it's
Right.
won't go hungry and won't go thirsty and will not lack for enjoying the experience. That's for sure.
See all these wonderful things, and if God forbid, have an accident, that a doctor will help you now, and be able to heal, help give you some assistance. Where if you go in another country, certain countries, you're going to have to pay $25. I know in New Zealand is $25 to have the doctor even come out and see you, and that's just for him to come out, and he has to be a GP. Doctor, general practitioner. Other people don't. You go to the hospital. So I've been, like I said, I've been looking around, ladies and gentlemen. So I know I'm making sure that I'm taking you to a safe spot, and that if anything erupt, that you're going to be in safe hands.
Yeah.
You couldn't be any safer when you actually go to Belize. You're going to love it. I do want to know, Tiffany, is there any callers? I guess I should ask her. How do I do this? Any callers that want to click in? How do I do this?
All these new things.
We actually are recording now. We went over it. It's almost 9:15.
Oh.
So the show won't allow, once it's in record mode, it won't allow any new callers to call in. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're just having such a good time.
Sorry, it was a great show. I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay. See, we've been having such a good time. I always have a good time with Macarena Rose. She's always been wonderful. We talked about last time. We talked about the jaguar that was pregnant that crossed her lane. So you guys really want to go to the YouTube videos. But I want people to know, before we go, how to get in touch with you, and tell them exactly, what you do besides the Reiki. I want them to know your company. I'm not, you see, I'm not purposely saying anything. I'm leaving this for you. So go ahead.
Okay, so the easiest way to find me is to go to rainforestrealty.com and just hit contact us because it comes directly to me. Or people can email me at my name, Macarena Rose at gmail.com. And yes, I do Reiki, obviously, ear candling. I do shamanic work. I'm going to do all sorts of good things with you. We're going to have a great time and make sure your people that come have an experience that is just worth living for.
There you go. I love
Sure.
that. So,
And the real estate was, I didn't go to Belize, as I think I had shared with you. I didn't go to Belize to start a real estate business. It's just there wasn't anybody that was working with the buyers and, was working from the capacity of actually being of service, of helping people not just buy a piece of property, but how to actually transition and move there. And there was a problem with Belize and net listing where they was like 3 different prices for one property. And my mom was a broker since I was a child, and I knew that there's certain laws and things that we follow. It's just ethics, the code of ethics with NAR. And so I got challenged. I think I shared that with you by a political minister going, well, if you don't like how this is happening, why don't you just show them how to do something differently? So that's what we do. We help people the people that find us have done their homework and they want us.
right. She's good people to know. So I'm banking on my dream that evidently I'm going to be buying property there in Belize. So, especially with the agriculture, I was just so excited because that's what I've been dreaming about. I want agricultural land. I want farms, and I know what I want. And it was like, okay. And it's just saying, you're going to get it. We're going to open the doors and you're going to be able to get what you want. So I was like, okay, long as I trust, I got a, steady faith, steady following what they say and not where my mind wants to take me, but what they're saying. I can't go wrong. So, being that so much, I'm just having a fabulous time. And I'm looking forward to really meeting you in person. I think that's going to be phenomenal. And connecting. I'm just excited about that. And all the other people and the hub of people and being and bringing something to the community. I don't, like I said, I can't say it strongly enough. I want to bring more to the Belizeans, to them in gratitude and thanking them for welcoming and opening their arms to welcome us into their country and actually to give. And people don't really understand that this is out of the norm for this gentleman, for this house, and just say you can cook there and actually be on a working farm. And saying, Nazio, where you're actually at, I think she called it, I forgot the farm, Cha-Cha Farm, Cha-Cha, something. I'm not going to, I'm screwing up the name, forgive me. But to do that and pay honor to us to do that, and for us to be able to go out and eat, and all the people that are going to play a part, and the bushmen that are willing to come to us, and if we have any ailment at that time and work with us and begin to treat. I mean, yeah, you got to usually go out and find them like, excuse me already. That's so I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about the Bushmen. I'm really excited about all the things, the yoga, the swimming, the water, the food. Yes, 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 yes.
Back to the food.
Yes, and the drinks and trying different things and being immersed in the music. And Belizean music is just as, oh, spine tingling as any other music that you want to hear when you hear them, because they're playing from the soul. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, riding through the country. I mean, renting a bike. These are all the things that we're going to get to experience, and actually working or doing shamanic work and Reiki if you need it, and just being part of this and doing a class, just loving that loving energy. So I'm so grateful, really grateful for for that, and everybody just giving us. So I really hope that we give them honor when we come there, and that we honor them with the respect that they deserve, the Belizean people. I really do. So that's the people that I am calling to come to this trip, to bring with me, with integrity, uh, and morals and respect and humbleness, and just realizing and a lot of gratitude, because I called many places. Um, I'm not going to name a country that I wanted to go to, and I felt like I was browbeat. And it was like, okay, I am not going to that country. I'm going to do this. And it didn't match my beliefs. And I was like, well, and my friend said, so why are you doing it? And I was like,
Right.
because I was like, she said, what feels right? I said, the Belize trip. She said, then do the Belize trip. I was like, okay, I'm going to do the Belize trip. And I canceled that trip and just let it go and said, okay, I'm going where I'm supposed to go. There's a purpose. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go, you always can go to my website, which is www.chefsessifodalchemist.com. That is Chef Ceci Food Alchemist. You'll see the beautiful flyer. You'll see the videos of Macarena Rose. We have her. I think I have two of them of you on the website for events. And I show you beautiful parts of Belize as well. So you see her talking to local, and she has a radio show, which she did not mention, is Belize Expat Radio. She does that, and she does local television shows actually with the locals and put them on her show herself. She's doing this all herself. This is amazing. So you need to go to YouTube and look up Macarena Rose, and you'll find her there. And find out and talk to her. If you really want to buy property, she's the lady you want to see. She knows the ins and out, and she will make sure that you get what you want. And she is a most, and one of, like I said, when I call Earth Angel, she's definitely an Earth Angel worth having in your corner. So you want to go to her website, and you want to go to YouTube and get a understanding of how she work and getting to see. And like I said, you can find her videos on HGTV as well. She's been on there many times, and that's saying something when you're actually on that show. They put on people, but if they put them on repeated, then they're worth integrity, and they know that they're not a one-shot wonder. She's worth having, and she's your go-to girl. So I just want to put that out. I want to thank you for a show, and thank you, Tiffany, for
Bless Stephanie. Bless her.
she's like, she didn't even tell me. I'm sitting there just running my mouth. But I can talk, as you can see. And it's been a blessing. So I want you guys to just have fun. We're going to connect again. And I want to keep doing this to get the excitement for people to go. So hopefully I'm going to try to do it where I can also get Carol and maybe the Bushman that she's going to connect me with. So everybody can see the players. It's so helpful when you can see the players that are involved in this coming together trip. They're going to be like, oh, so when you get there, it's not going to be like, oh, it's going to be like, oh, you're going to feel the connection. So that's why I want them to see you very often, so they know there is a connection and that you're a big part of this. You don't play a little role, you play a major role in this and helping us come together like this. So I really appreciate this. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is your favorite food alchemist. What I love to say. Do you want to say your prayer that you were teaching us in Mayan to close it?
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do one. And let's do this one.
Okay.
Satyasak, Satyamak, Kishiamu, Wanacha, Wanapatan. And what I'm wishing for you is that may there only be light in your presence. And I ended with, this is my work, this is my service.
Awesome. So people, you know my saying, love, light, life, longevity, and much prosperity to everyone. And this is your favorite food alchemist. and Macarena Rose on the Food Alchemist Show. So we give thanks and honor and loves, especially to her. Much, 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 much prosperity. I send that to you. Hugs.
Bless you. Hugs back.
Okay, we're done. I guess I don't know how we do this, so hopefully we did good. Did I do good?